All right. Well, hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Oh, let me probably move this a bit up, right? This down. Still getting used to the new setup. I haven't used this chibi before, so it's gonna be the first test stream. Probably not the best idea to use Arc League Finals to test out some stuff for the stream, but hey, man, it is what it is. So. Bye, Aunt May. Hello, new logo. Yo, what's up, KK? What's up, Samurai Slayer? Vinmura, if I said that correctly. Welcome. Lambo, how you doing, man? So I can attend your streams. Super sick. Hopefully, you can attend more of your streams. Yeah, no worries, man. Rest in peace, Aunt May. For you, I stay. Yeah, I was surprised how many people were attached to Aunt May. The reason why I changed it was because everyone was like, "Oh, who's his grandma? Who's it's grandma from 2268 or whatever." So but yeah, we're we got this new logo. Hopefully everyone likes it. I don't know how long I'll stay with it. Maybe I'll upgrade another time, but yeah. So if you guys see, we have, is it like, what do you think of this? It's not a VTube model, but rather just a representation of myself in the bottom left corner. I might make it a bit smaller, put the chat a little bit lower. First, I thought she was a real person. I mean, technically she is, right? She's a real individual in real life. So, but yeah, the stream is gonna be a little bit of a short one compared to my normal ones, but we're just gonna be spectating the 60 GT versus, whoops, wrong one. 60 GT versus WSA match. So, I'm actually curious because as the last match, WSA kind of got stomped. But one thing that I saw was, what 1647, right? One thing that I saw from them is they actually only had 28 players to start the match, and they were actually in the middle of KBK. So I was wondering, was that the reason why they performed so badly last time? And is there going to be a difference with their performance this time? So it looks like, yeah, it looks like the zone's under wraps currently for WSA. Yeah, it looks like they're free burning everything, so everything should be okay. They shouldn't be distracted this time with the pass opening or zone opening, all that such. So it looks like they got KVK pretty handily currently on this side. Let's go check out the other side. Oh, there's a pass fight going on over here. So they do have some fighting going on. Some people in WSA, their flags are burning, their forts are burning, but hopefully they're getting ready for the 60 GT match. And even though I put all of my you know, those coins where you have to bet who wins, I have talent coins, there you go. I put all my I have talent bets on 60 GT. I do want to make sure that the match is at least competitive, and it looks like they're posturing for it to be as such with by letting their flags burn. I'm sure these players over here, yeah, I don't think they have the power to be part of their OL team, so they're probably just fighting while their OL team, you know, fights. So, but yeah, hopefully they could actually have all their players this time for to start the match, because having those having 28 out of 30 is a really big deal. So, and yeah, I've been 1+ winning forts on the side. Let me just send out my gather. Shh. This is side Ploto stuff right now. This is free to play Ploto stuff. It's free to play. You gotta make sure your marches are always out, you know? Let's read the chat. Where's with great power comes great responsibility now that Aunt May is gone? Facts. Now we're just irresponsible Ploto. Also, 500%, you should check the Samurai Slayer song selection. I'll check it after the stream, Samurai. I thought your logo would look more like Peter Parker. I'm trying to avoid the Disney copyright, not like play into it. So, no Peter Parker, sadly. Can I 10 you? Yo, what's up, Martin? How you doing, man? So yeah, so playoffs are gonna start, or the match is gonna start in 5 minutes. So I'm not whitelisted or anything, so I have to be one of the 200 I don't know how I did it last time. I think I just spam clicked it until it got in. Hopefully, you know, that the same thing works, or else it's gonna be a really short stream. So just click fast. Yeah, trust. I guess we could look at the standings too. Nope, not that standings. League stats. There you go. You could see our OL record, how we lost in what do you call it? Prelims. Anyways, in terms of Anubis, looks like they use a lot of XY Nevsky, most popular rally, but has the lowest win rate. I've seen a lot of Henry Nebu out of 60 GT last time, and then a lot of some Attila Takeda. So I'm expecting to see that, especially out of C Will in them. So with the crack gear that they have for archers, definitely going to use that archer gear. Probably have Armani, Amadatory Artemisia garrison it once they capture the structures and such. Dollar is still first place for MVPs actually. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he has this in the bag regardless, because there's no one from 1647 or 60 GT that has, I mean, unless of course 1647 wins another game, but and net points, while Wib actually is winning in net points even though they lost against MX. That's kind of tough. Dollar is still first place in kill score, and a bunch of WSA players. Look at that, 1 2 3 4 5. So yeah, obviously 60 GT WSA in the top of these charts, especially because they have more games to play compared to everyone else, but also that means that, you know, they have top contributors in their OL teams, which makes sense as to how they made the finals. Occupation scores, I think this is just who garrisons or fill structures most. So it looks like 60 GT, just judging by this, the individual scores, they play the structure game really well. Got Phil with provisions. Dang, RT2K guy popping off. Probably 5 marching the provisions, no? And then Alliance net points, occupation score. Yeah, 60 GT with occupation score. Provision score WSA actually. So we'll have to keep that in mind as the match weighs on, that WSA is actually really good at, whoops, I don't know why it always goes back, but WSA is actually really good at provisioning. So arc score 60 GT, kills 60 GT, and heals, look at it, 60 MX, man. Fish in the gang, holding down the most heals as an alliance. So what are your thoughts on the new inf comms, Wolf? I saw the leaks. I don't know if it's real or not, so I was thinking about making a video once it actually comes into game. But if everything stays as is, I think they're honestly, I'm not really good at theory crafting, but I know that I don't know who the pairs are gonna be, to be honest. Maybe they could pair with each other for a rally. The MG commander is looking rather juicy. I've heard with Pakal, maybe that would be a pretty good combo. But yeah, I'm still, I have to look at it in game. But they're definitely strong. The only thing is though, the wheel commander for the infantry, the skill damage is over 5 seconds, and it's gonna be pretty tough to stay glued and connected to a march for 5 seconds as an infantry player. So you'll have to make sure you're all in committing with that march, or else you won't get damage values that you need. But it also looks like a Tamaris, like a inf version of Tamaris. So I mean, we'll see. Yo, Fish, how you doing, man? We were literally just talking about how you and MX were, it keeps switching, we're most healed still. So alrighty, let's see if we could click fast. Click fast! Click fast! Anubis, right? Anubis. Yeah, you guys healed a shit ton, man. Congrats on the skin. Hopefully you guys, does it have to be every single realm that finishes it, or what? Am I getting trolled right now? Where's the match? Go reset this. There you go. I'm in. All right. It's not an awkward stream, boys. We got in. One more week of waiting for 3% training. I mean, at least you guys got it, right? So this is the lineup of combatants for 60GT. Notable names. We got, I mean, all of them are notable. Leopard, we got Sea Will, we got Animal. Okay, I can't read it fast enough. Combatants on the WSA side, these are their starters, so super cool. I actually don't think I've ever watched this before. Dollar, of course, we saw first in the realm on kills. We got Arc's provision, Arc of Osiris score, so that's their Arc carrier. And then on the other side, interesting. So Shomai or Shumai is actually carrying their provision scores. Interesting. So we saw WSA is really good at provisioning. They'll have to hold down their mid game. They'll have to hold down their their mid game and their their structure game, and try to at least cap one of the arcs, because 60GT last time they were just like clockwork. As soon as they secured the arc next to their side, next to their structures, they were just destroying the structure game. So we'll see how many players are in. I'm interested to see. It looks like the full 30 is here for the WSA side, so that's a big upgrade from the 28 that they had last time. 60GT, looks like everyone's here as well. So it's an even matchup so far. One thing to look out for in the beginning of the match actually is to see if they pop the skill that cap structures early and all that kind of stuff, to see how they use their points and they allocate their points, if they're going to use it early to cap structures faster, or if they are going to save it for the mid fight. So yeah, I'm obviously rooting for 60GT. As I said, the reason why I'm casting this is because all of my Eye of Talent coins are on 60GT. So I definitely want to get that ROI, but hopefully it'll be a fun fight. Alright, later Samurai. Stonks from Lambo, man. I'm surprised you're not streaming this, but yeah, you probably have a lot more to say compared to me. But 3, 2, 1. Let's see the initial rallies that come out. First marches, of course, standard. You bring out, unless you are the T1 march, you bring out the infantry first, going from slowest march to fastest march, so that they could arrive relatively around the same time. So we got the T1, I believe, yeah, this is the T1 marches, going straight for the outposts, and then after that the obelisks. We have 4 obelisk rallies from GT. We got, again, I believe this is the 7 rallies, 4 outposts. I think it is, no, 3 outposts, 4 obelisk rallies for WSA. We'll see if they actually try to cap those outposts early, or if it's going to be cancelled. And there you go, we have hard push from 60GT. So they hard push from both sides, so the point allocation is going to be even. They're going to capture their obelisk and get those TPs around the same time. Actually looks like 60GT was a lot faster to their initial outpost, and it looks like they'll also have a couple seconds advantage on their obelisk cap as well, which is actually pretty big. One of the biggest things in Arc of Osiris is just getting your teleports in and getting those marches in as fast as possible, so that you could refresh as fast as possible, have as much open field presence as much as possible. So it's gonna be interesting to see if GT is going to be able to leverage this early obelisk cap, this early teleport timing. It looks like by around 5 to 7 seconds, we'll be able to see as soon as this march from Smile gets into the obelisk. So 2 minutes compared to, so yeah, it's around like a 15 to 20 second difference in terms of teleportation time, which is actually a lot bigger than you might think. 143. But of course this is also the long side for their side, which is why the DAs usually get contested compared to but if you look at the differences, the long side for the 60GT, the difference is only around like what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? No, like it's only around like 5 to 7 seconds compared to like the 20-25 second difference on the long and short side, mirroring the match. So a bit slow on the obelisk caps for WSA. Also, WSA have marches going straight. They could have tapped the outpost maybe, but that's completely fine. The outposts, they probably lost like 20 points, 40 points at most. So here comes the outpost rallies. It looks like it is an XY Nevsky for both of them. So we'll see if they're actually contested or if these are just transport rallies to get from place to place faster. We have the obelisk rally going up to the top obelisk of GT. Last time we saw WSA let the rally hit. We'll see if they're gonna, it looks like they're gonna do the exact same thing, because if they were gonna cancel, they would have canceled around the DA, but it looks like that's not the plan. We'll see if, yeah, they're trying to attack both obs right now. 10 seconds on this obelisk cap, but they already have a Jad in there. It should be completely fine. The TP's coming in now from the 60 GT side, looks like, and indeed they are. Maybe this march over here from Smile is trying to block some TP spots. It looks like that's what it's trying to do. So interesting strat. The rally did cap the outpost, and it looks like it's going to cap the other outposts as well. So a little bit of a point advantage for WSA with those outposts, but I'm sure 60 GT will swarm them as well. Apparently the outpost down here is also being rallied by GT. So it looks like both sides tried to put a rally on the obelisks to see how they would react. Kind of surprised 60 GT swarming this. I guess KS Animal, just having one person take care of the obelisk is fine, so that all the marches inside the obelisk could, you know, free roam and all that. So we'll see. Wow, look at that. 60 GT, this is the side that they're supposed to be losing, the side that WSA is supposed to be pushing up. 60 GT is actually way pushed up. And then on the bottom side for the DA, it looks like they're not going to be able to get the first cap on this DA, but they're at least going to be able to protect their own GTA. On my eye went to 89 GC. Let me check the volume levels. But yeah, there is a ton of fighting around this. And look, 60 GT, even though they postured in front, they've just pushed through, was able to get the first cap of this desert altar, the enemy desert altar, the red side desert altar. So they have 3 altars to 1 currently. It's going to be huge if they're able to hold this for the first cap, points. Gonna put them in the advantage early on. And it looks like there's not enough WSA marches. Like, the WSA marches are in the back trying to swarm, but it looks like 60 GT is just clearing them out. Look at the sad face difference from the red side to blue. It definitely looks like 60 GT has open field advantage down here. Let's check the DA. Looks like they're going to be able to hold their DA as well. Easily able to hold their DA. And it looks like they're contesting the Shrine of War currently. So both inside structures for WSA are getting contested. The sticker is cute, and when you talk quiet, I lose focus. Hey, what's up, Belle? Welcome. And thank you so much to Giovanni for the sub. So it does look like 60 GT, even just the opening, like, they both have 30 players this time, but the opening by 60 GT just so clean. It's so it's like they have it down to a science, I'd say. Just how to get to the obelisks as fast as possible, how to, as we saw earlier, how to get their marches out there as fast as possible, starting off with the infantry, then the archers, then the cavalry, so that all the marches could get out at around the same time, so that they could murder ball at around the same time, and the infantry could be there at a relatively decent time. So it looks like 60 GT is swarming down the Henry Nebu rally, but indeed they did get first cap in the DA. Are they gonna get first cap in the Shrine of War? They're already up by around 1.7k points, which is insane for this early in the game. Yeah, 60GT just showing us how to play Ark of Osiris against WSA. So it looks like 60GT is swarming down the cities. The reason why, if you guys are new to Ark of Osiris, haven't watched Ark of Osiris before, it's a lot faster. The fastest march in Rise of Kingdoms is a dead march. So since Ark is spawning in around 4 minutes 22 seconds to be exact, they want to refresh their low marches so that, as you can tell, like, these are really low marches, so that they can bring the fresh and strong marches to the mid fight. So looks like we have the first individual from 60GT at the mid fight at the 4-minute mark. We'll see, and as we see, there are people transferring over from the WSA side, even ignoring the Shrine of War so that they could get that early positioning for the mid, because it looks like this mid fight is probably going to be do or die for WSA already. So makes perfect sense. I think 60GT also got the first cap in the Shrine of War, so extra points there. Somehow WSA took the 60GT obelisk, which, you know, in a normal even match would actually be kind of a big deal if they're able to get those extra 8 TPs, but they were not. At least they are able to stall some of the TPs on the top side of 60GT, but it looks like that won't matter as much because they still have open field advantage. Interestingly, Ark is spawning in 3 minutes, and we have a couple marches going to the DA. So it does look like WSA not fully committing to mid. They will have a couple marches to pressure structures during the mid fight, but WSA does have first dibs on mid. They do have first rotation, and they did recap their DA. So we'll see if they're going to be able to come back from their early game blunders. Current rallies, of course, we have 60GT rallying their Sky Altar, and then we also have WSA rallying. They're just rallying, both sides are just rallying the altars, which is kind of to be expected. If you guys don't know, altars give way more points compared to Sky Altars, almost double, 150 points per minute compared to the 80 points per minute on the what do you call it, the Shrine side. So it's that's why during the mid fight most teams will contest the altars, just due to the fact that they have more points. And as I say that, WSA is able to capture the desert altar due to, one, the amount of presence 60GT is rotating mid. Two, I'd also say that the obelisk cap did have a little bit of an impact. There's at least 1 to 2 cities that were not able to TP when they could have, meaning around 10 marches that could have been around this DA, 10 marches that could have been rotating mid will have to go straight from their spawn. So it's an interesting strat to capture those obelisks early, because that is when they have the most output, the most return of investments. So we will see. Looks like 60GT actually, with the current marches coming in through mid, they look around even. We could look at the dot counter. This is how I look at it. Maybe WSA do have a little bit more marches compared to 60GT, but we'll see if they're actually going to commit to hitting the murder ball early. Looks like 60GT, and there you go, WSA popping war drums, 60GT popping mystical formation. So the fight is going on early compared to what it usually is, but the reason being for WSA's side is the 60GT has way more reinforcements compared to WSA. So if they didn't fight now, they would have lost the fight later. And as you can tell, this is how you could tell. You can't really look at what's going on with all the numbers, but just a sad face counter. It looks like currently actually WSA there you go. There are, it looks around even, I would say, but WSA maybe a little bit more sad faces compared to 60GT. Yeah, definitely more sad faces from the WSA side. I'd say a 1-to-2 ratio for this mid fight. And it looks like Ark is gonna spawn within a matter of seconds. 7, 6, 5, and 60 GT just pushing up. As you can tell, even though there's some red marches here, what you do for these mid fights is you want to aim for the back and drag the murder ball of the enemies to towards their side. Try to make it as far away from the arc as possible so that you have positioning. Looks like 60 GT is gonna get the first pull, and if they get first pull, it's gonna be wraps for this first arc. And indeed, they do have the first pull. Looks like this Ethelfled by Kuka is going towards 60 GT's side. This mid fight is already over. Looks like WSA is not sending any more marches mid. So that structure focus of WSA, we'll see if it actually paid dividends. They were able to capture one Shrine of War, but they did lose their own Shrine of War. In fact, I'd say that the structures are actually even with who has captured what. So WSA sacked mid 4 structures, didn't cap any extra structures. They did cap Desert Altar during that one time. Was able to delay the points per minute, but if we check the points per minute now, it is dead even. So dead even in points per minute. 60 GT has the point lead, and they have the Arc of Osiris, looking very, very promising for the 60 GT side. GT1 already, basically. Hey man, I gotta make it sound hype. But yeah, 60 GT showing everybody how to play Arc of Osiris, how to practically time these mid fights, sack some structures. And if the thing is, if you go structure focus, that means your mid's gonna lose so fast to the point where the mid marches from 60 GT look rather healthy. There are some that are fully healthy, some that are half, but they're able to just directly rotate to the Desert Altar, and this is a win-win for 60 GT because they could pressure the Desert Altar, dragging marches from WSA to defend rather than attack, and at the same time it is an effective way to reset your marches, make them sad face so that you can bring them out to the field as fast as possible. So it's practically hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Honestly, these 60 GT marches that are open fielding, maybe you'd rather have them just swarm the Desert Altar just as fast as possible. There is a Henry Nebu rally on the Desert Altar, and look at that. When you look at that, the Desert Altar is in shambles. It is gonna fall. 60 GT rotating from mid, using those mid marches to pressure the reinforcements from WSA and pressure them to the point where they couldn't even reinforce their Desert Altar. So it is 3 altars to 1 currently. There is no threat on this Desert Altar to the point where this person actually wants their Jadviga to die, but it just won't die because there's no one here to kill them off to. So it does look like 60 GT are they did lose the Shrine of War, surprisingly enough, but you would trade a Desert Altar for a Shrine of War for the points per minute any day of the week. If we could check the points per minute score, is 510 points per minute to 360 points per minute on the WSA side. So let me just take a breather for a second. 60 GT walking to the obelisk, so it does look like they're going to hold and make it a 2 arc game. I mean, if you're dominating the structures, might as well, right? If you're dominating the structure game, if you could, keep holding 3 altars, there's no point in changing the game plan, making a variety, making a switch, and having an extra mid fight, even though they could probably win that mid fight as well. You won't get Eye of Talent coins until all round match is complete. There you go. Yeah, first is 2 wins, Sid. True high. 60 GT always wins. Hello, counter KD. But yeah, it looks like the match is not. It's even more of a stomp compared to last time, right? Like even around this time, 60 GT was pulling ahead, but there was a point last match where WSA was ahead early on in the match, but it looks like 60 GT took the reins and just ran with it. There is a Nevsky. Let's see what they're running. It is Nevsky. That Joan? Nevsky Joan rallies. Looks like this top side is just holding trying to make sure that they hold their points per minute. The thing is with 60 GT, with the lead that they have, with the arc securely in their hands, even if they're even in points per minute, it's a win for them. Even if they're even with points per minute, even if they just hold their structures, it's a win for them. So the fact that they're even winning in points per minute, almost double the points per minute that WSA has, it is looking like dire straits. I don't know if enough provisions could save WSA, as they are the highest provisioning alliance in the realm. But it does look like they're recapping the Desert Altar. If there is any time for WSA to come back, to mount their comeback, it is now with 39 minutes left to go. And it does look like, look at this, they've been able to hold this Shrine of War for a pretty long while. So if you guys don't know, shrines give troop buffs. So it does look like 60 GT is losing out on the 5% attack, 5% defense troop buff. So I wonder if that's gonna make a difference. But it does look like they traded the Desert Altar for the Shrine of War, getting those stats back. And it does look like, look at this, there is a murder ball. Well, it's not really a ball, it's more so a murder wave of WSA marches convening outside of the Shrine of War. It does look like there's probably like a marker like ball here. Imbecile. Okay, getting called by imbecile by a random stranger. Thank you so much, sir. But it does look like 60 GT has capped the arc. So kudos to them. They are up by around 6k points. So this mid fight, hopefully WSA does contest, because there is no way they are winning this game without the next arc. So the next arc is going to determine if they could even go even or not. If they can go even or not from the WSA side. It does look like they have an Ethelfled garrison currently in the Shrine of War. These marches here should definitely just be swarming the marches. Don't look at the open field. Open field doesn't matter. Go try to hit this march. And as I say that, the Jan is inside the Shrine of War. With just 1 second, snap, it's already the garrison lead as a top OL team with coordinates. This is how a top OL team coordinates. And if you could see, it was red and now it's yellow. So they're probably march swapping. If you guys don't know, only one march within a structure per individual. Each individual can only put one march in a structure at a time. So one of the high level teams do is they pull out their march that's low, and then they put in their fresh march so that the garrison is topped off practically. It's similar to what people do with flags or building structures and such. So big ups, looks like. But it does look like they have enough open field. WSA does. Even with the march swapping, they have the open field advantage for the Shrine of War. So yeah, it does look like 60 GT. They're like, you know, screw our Shrine of War. We want the DA. We want the points. We want the 150 points per minute compared to the 80. So yeah, it looks like 60 GT is like, all right, if you guys want to put all your open field in the Shrine of War, we're gonna put all our open field to your Desert Altar. And 60 GT is gonna cap this DA in around, oh, there's a march coming in, and it looks like it came too late. 60 GT has capped the Desert Altar. So yeah, it looks like they actually have all 4 altars currently. 60 GT. Let's check the points per minute. It's going to be rather ugly. 490 points per minute compared to the 230 points per minute WSA. So 60 GT has more than double points per minute. But they did lose their Desert Altar. So at least WSA is trading structures. They are trading. But it is a negative trade overall, I would say, in my opinion. And look, WSA is they do have more open field presence towards the Sky Altar. So if there's any structure that they're gonna cap, it is this Sky Altar currently. Does not look like there are any 60 GT marches to support the Sky Altar. It looks like they're probably just gonna sack this and let the Sky Altar fall. And I believe I just missed a stonks by Lambo. Click that like button, people. It costs nothing. Helps Paul out by getting content out to more people. Thank you again, Lambo, for the for the 1 month subscription. Yeah, hopefully you guys like the content. This is my second OL match that I've ever casted. A little bit out of my comfort zone, but hopefully I'm doing a decent enough job. I still don't know the skills off the top of my head, so I'm like, in the beginning of the match, I'm like, oh yeah, the skill that caps structures faster. So hopefully I'll get that down packed by next season. But yeah, wow, we actually have 120 people. That's crazy. So thank you again for everyone watching. And yeah, Lambo is a content creator as well. He creates guide videos, so if you like what's going on here, definitely check out Lambo to learn how to play Arco Osiris yourself. He's a good friend of mine, so definitely check him out. So yeah, it does look like 60GT going back to the match is like there is no one at the Sky Altar. They are literally just swarming down cities now. I don't know what's happening with the WSA side, but Arc is spawning in 3 minutes 40 seconds. There is already a little bit of a mid fight. Looks like a 2v2 Cav versus Cav. Ploto VTuber. Yeah, hopefully you guys like the new model. I don't really feel comfortable. Like I don't have the lighting, I don't have the camera quality in the background and stuff, so I just thought this would be a good compromise. It's a new thing, so if you guys like it, I'll keep it for sure. But yeah. Looks like WSA actually, look at that. They capped both altars on the bottom side, mirroring the caps that 60GT has on the top. So it does look like, you know, they're fighting back. They're trying to, you know, show to the ROK world that, hey, we're not gonna lay down and die and just let ourselves lose. They're gonna try their best to at least show face. Turn off when it goes dark. Let it move whenever you talk. Interesting. I could actually change that right now. All right, that's a good tip. That's a good tip, Fish. I will try that for next time for sure. I don't want to alter settings and then it just doesn't work anymore, you know. So, yeah, I'll just change it up later. I'll change it up later. Check out his OnlyFans page. And it looks like we got another sub. Let's go. We got 1365. Sheesh, 1365. Crazy KD. Respects to you guys. Thank you so much, White, for subscribing. And yeah, if you guys like the content, I will be posting more Rise of Kingdoms content to come. Our KVK should be coming up within the next couple of pops. So if you guys don't know, I'm not usually an ARC person. I'm a KVK person. But yeah, I'll definitely be streaming a lot more. So if you guys like the content, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe and like the video. Especially with the budget that we had for these new chibies and stuff. So in terms of off-season, find out ARC match. I'd like to think the action of the teams in the off-season when they find out their ARC match is the same with the 60GT. Yeah, man. Imagine just fighting 60GT in the off-season. And it does look like 60GT has the murder ball advantage in mid. They do have the positioning advantage in mid, so I'm not expecting too much of a mid fight. But it does look like WSA is throwing the kitchen sink at 60GT. So that is a difference compared to their strat for the first arc, where they were rallying structures. Let's look at the rallies actually. As you can tell, actually, they do have rally set on the altars currently. So, wait, is this? No, this is 60GT. Yeah, it looks like 60GT has rallies set on all of their structures compared to WSA, who only has the rallies that are already marching. So no new rallies are being set. So that means that WSA should have mid advantage. It should have prio in terms of the amount of marches, but with the timer slowly trickling down, I don't know if they have time. They have to go now or never to cap this arc, or else, yeah, like 60GT is just gonna be able to get the first pull free. Yeah, look, WSA is just sitting here. There's nothing. They're not engaging. They're not going in. The arc just spawned, but WSA is now going in to the death pop by 60GT. War drums popped by 60GT. Is there any skills? No WSA skills. Interesting. Not exactly sure what happened in the WSA skills, but it does look like 60GT got first pull. They are pulling it to their side, making it harder for WSA to contest. But yeah, we'll see this mid fight, because WSA should get stomped. Look at the sad faces. It is just infinite sad faces from WSA. I don't even see one from 60GT, so no skills popped on WSA's side, just conceding the mid fight. If that was the case, I'm not exactly sure why they went mid to begin with, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, WSA, I mean, they do have some marches around the arc itself, but yeah, it looks like 60GT has this in the bag. So everyone that put their RX on 60GT, put their Eye of Talents, including me, all the believers, we are gonna get rewarded, boys. If we get the coins directly after this match, I'm gonna go spend them and splurge on the gold heads. So yeah, it's gonna be good stonks. Get those mats, get those gold heads. So gotta show up, give 100% head, maybe we'll show up. Look, we got paired up against 60MX in the offseason, crushed us and killed their 16-game win streak. That's crazy. Always good. They have good communication, yeah, for sure. Even like when I watch Seawill's streams, he actually has like the comms in the background. You just hear, I don't know Mandarin, I don't know what they're saying, but it's like clear and concise comms. So I'm expecting similar stuff for their OL team for sure. And they're probably celebrating right now, just chilling, you know. Getting back-to-back. Is this 3 times in a row that they've won? I think this is 3 times in a row that they've won their realm. So, you know, 60GT, definitely one of the best KDs in the game. One of the most organized, that's for sure. Winning KVKs, winning OLs. So shout out to your KD Fish. Shout out to 60GT. You guys are amazing. But we can keep watching the match just to see best practice. As they rotate mid, as you can tell, 60GT rotates to the altars after the mid fight. So for this bottom side, it's actually they rotate to the desert altar. For the top side, they defend their own desert altar, and that is of course because it gives the most points. The points per minute for the altars, as I keep referencing, is more than double. It's almost double. I meant to say. It's 150 compared to 80 points for the shrine, so of course he wants to contest what gives you more points. We could check where if this arc, yeah, this arc looks like it is going to go to the Shrine of War. Interestingly enough, it looks like there is going to be a third mid fight. As this Joan is just like walking, like casually swag walking down to this Shrine of War. No contention by WSA for this shrine, so it does look safe. And would you look at that, 60GT somehow capped the ob, but they did swarm it down, so at least they're not going to be able to TP in their whales and start zeroing cities. It hasn't devolved to that point yet, but there is a Nevsky in the garrison, interestingly enough, for this desert altar. I'm guessing they don't have the Jan and Jads up to this point yet, but it looks like it won't matter because there are enough open field marches to swarm down the swarmers. So 60GT is currently, yeah, it looks like they're going to be holding this. Look how empty that rally is. That's probably like one person filling Kaneki's rally currently in the WSA side. I don't know if they're waving the white flag or whatnot, but let's see how many players they have in the match. They have 29, so they already have one person leaving the match. They probably already said GG's, left the comms. But WSA should definitely be proud of their season. It is hard to make it to the OL finals. You were second place in your realm. Definitely props to WSA, especially with them being in a KVK. They are currently in a KVK fighting in Zone 6. So, definitely big ups to 1647 for coming second place in this arc, in this realm for sure. And we'll have to see how 60GT matches up against whoever wins in the first round. What's the first round even called? I don't even know. Is it Horus? I think it's Horus. Whoever between 1v or Blackjack, both of those teams look formidable. GT already lost against 1v, both in the Grand Prix and last year's Grand Finals, so it's gonna be their chance for revenge if they verse 1v, or just a chance to prove themselves that they are the best OL team again if they win the Grand Finals. So definitely I might cast that for sure. But yeah, did the other say use to the death after dying there? I don't know. I think they just lost without using skills. So getting to finals is no small accomplishment. Congrats to 60GT and WSA. Great season. Thanks for the entertainment. For sure. Like, I don't usually watch Arc of Osiris, but honestly, casting has been super fun, and I've been learning a lot. That hopefully, you know, maybe we'll see SV68 next season in whatever realm we're in at least in the playoffs, right? So it's definitely super interesting to see how 60GT, well, both teams, but especially 60GT, and what they prioritize, the timings, and how they take precedence. I think one of the biggest things that you can take from this match is how 60GT takes the reins, takes precedence, and kind of controls the pace of the match, right? We saw 60GT mid first, and WSA had to respond. We see 60GT take the structures, push through mid, push the desert altar. WSA has to respond. So it does look like 60GT knows when to push, and they have their openings, but it's up to WSA and the opponents to take those openings. So it's all about, you know, skill checking, skill testing, also strategy testing the opponents, and 60GT just seems to come on top every single time. So it does look like WSA do have some marches around the Arc of Osiris, but I think 60GT should still have it under wraps. One thing, if you guys don't know, if you're new to the stream, is you can actually cap arcs within your city. Oh, they actually capped the ob, but you can actually cap the Arc of Osiris within your city. So the most safest place you can hold an arc is outside the city area, not close to the obelisk, not outside of a Shrine of War, not outside of any structures that they could take, but actually within an allied city, so that and make sure that even if they cap the arc, you have time to recap it, to kill the march, and kind of yeah, so you could cap it within a city. So definitely big strats by them. It does look like WSA is holding their DA. WSA is pushing out from the Shrine of War. WSA kind of fighting for their Sky Altar-ish. It looks like just 60GT has so many marches around this outer lane that it's going to be super tough for them to even contest the Sky Altar. Definitely, I don't think you gotta have a counterattack march if you're not going to have open field for that rally. But I mean, this match is all but over. We got 7k lead plus arc for 60GT. Although, yeah, there are people from WSA, and look, there are a lot of marches being distracted by those people. So it does look like you know, they're still playing around, they're still having some fun. The Shrine of War looks like there are a lot of WSA marches like AFK around the Shrine of War. Not exactly sure what's happening. There you go. They are starting to swarm it down now. So looks like WSA is going to cap the Shrine of War, but there are some 60GT marches running over to cap it back. Press like, good for the algorithm. It helps content creator. Thanks, Bell. Yeah, for sure. This realm 100% still for a realm I'm 100% sure most deserved final would be 6GT versus MX. Still disappointed. Love to put us on different side. Yeah, they put you on the same side, so you guys have to fight each other before the finals. Decide if not actual two best teams manage to end up in the finals. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of tough about OL. We were talking about this in our podcast with Lambo, with Lattice, with Beast. There's gonna be another episode, I believe, around. Let me check my calendar. But I believe on the 11th, right? Next weekend. No, next weekend. There should be another pod around that time where we get to talk. But last time on Lattice's channel, we were talking about changes that they can make to Arc of Osiris. One of the things is just like making normal Arc kind of dictate standings for playoffs, because the group stages is like the prelims, like before getting like the round of 512 and the prelims is kind of a joke. There aren't really that many exciting matches, and it's just like really strong teams beating super weak teams. So it'd be nice if there was like some kind of seeding, and then based on that seeding you could you could kind of have the first place team on one side of the bracket, second place team on the other side of the bracket, third place team with second place team, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, we'll see. I'll have to see what Lilith does. They did say they're going to make a bunch of changes to Arc of Osiris, so I don't even know if Arc will be the same after after the grand finals. We're doing on the 17th. Ah, got it. Okay, there you go, 17th. So hopefully you guys will be there. I'm also going to be streaming later on today. So I'm from 2268. In case you guys don't know who I am, my name's Ploto Gaming. Low spender, it's low to mid spender. I barb chain all the time, try to get as much value as possible. So if you guys want to see how to get value as a low spender in KVKs, how to get 1.5 billion KP in KVKs as a low spender, just subscribe. And we have a lot of big things happening for 2268 as well, which is why we're going to be streaming. We have an alliance migrating in, so we're going to be talking to the new alliance members. We're going to be talking to 2268 leadership about the future of the KD, why we chose to accept those migrants, who they are, our history with all of them. So if you guys want to know more about the lore, I guess, of 2268 and what we're going to be up to, definitely tune in. I believe it's going to be around 1 UTC, 2 UTC, around that. No, 1 p.m, 2 p.m. So it's 18 UTC. Because I'm from the East Coast, so. But yeah, stupid changes, NPCs, and no more Arc. Yeah, it's tough, man. But hopefully it'll be enjoyable, right? Hopefully it'll be enjoyable. But yeah, 60 GT is dominant. It is. Look at the map. It's so blue. It is so blue. This outpost of Iset, the only structure on the 60 GT side that is not under their control. Meanwhile, they have both of the structures. Both the shrine and the sky altar on top, and they have the desert altar and bot. It does look like, hey, like there's some WSA marches still, walking around. They're still having some fun, but we'll see. Yeah, there's still 29 players in. I wonder if they're getting in their subs now, like, hey boys, get your 10 heads, get your 10k and get your 10 heads, but and look, would you look at that? So 60 GT, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they let WSA tap the Arc. And what happens when you tap the Arc, when it switches sides, is that the timer actually resets. So now there was around like 2-3 minutes on the Arc timer. Now there's 14 minutes. So 60 GT, there's gonna be no more mid fights. There's gonna be all structures. They should have. I mean, they do have this game, but they should have no reason to just not to hold back on the structure game. They're just gonna keep going for these structures. We'll see if there's actually gonna be a finals where 60 GT caps all of the arcs. I mean, caps all of the structures. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a OL finals game, but can't join next stream. My KD will final trading buff next stage. Title giver till finish. Yo, respect title givers. I'll really respect title givers. It's tough to watch that chat, but definitely 100% understandable. Hey Ploto, we gain our victory marks champions after 60 GT wins. Hey Leo, we're actually gonna check that out because I put my victory marks on 60 GT as well. If we do, I'm gonna full buy the shop. I've maxed the bundle, put it all into 60 GT, all in boys 60 GT. So that's what I did, and if we do get them, you can bet that I'm gonna stream me maxing the shop. I'm gonna buy those gold head, buy those materials, so that by the time we're in next KVK, I can max those new infantry commanders that are gonna come out. So it's gonna be super fun, man. So yeah, definitely going to be planning to use those new infantry commanders. They should come out around the same time my KVK pops. So if you guys want to see those commanders, I'm going to keep plugging my channel because I don't think this match is going to go anywhere. But yeah, if you guys want to see how to open field with those new infantry commanders, specifically the wheel one, I don't know if I'm going to get the MG one, but I'm definitely going to be running that as my second infantry march. So we'll make do. It looks super broken with the skills that were leaked, but I'm going to make a video about it once the skills are out in the game. 60 GT, winning is really helping in a way, lol. Yeah, it is helping. Yeah. The reason why I'm streaming 60 GT is because I have those marks on 60 GT. I just really want to make sure that the ROI is there. Oh, for a second I thought WSA capped the arc. It's not really consequential to anything, but I was gonna be like, dang, WSA with the comeback. But it does look like there is no marches within the obelisk, so WSA is just able to cap the obelisk whenever they want to. But yeah, yeah. I should have brought water. That's one thing. Whenever I stream, I gotta bring water with me because talking for an hour straight is tiring. I don't know how Lattice is able to cast two matches at the same time. But look at that. 60 GT losing the enemy Sky Altar, or WSA recapping the Sky Altar. So the structures are even now, or about. I mean, they do have 2 outposts, but you know, that's completely fine. Interesting. WSA just having fun capping obelisks. But yeah, I might actually catch that 1v game next week, just because that's probably gonna be the only game available. Let me check on my phone actually on the other realm. Ooh, oh yeah, 2244 versus I don't know what GV is from, but that match is looking rather close. There is a mid fight there, but I can't really cast that. Hopefully, you know, maybe next season we'll get whitelisted by Lilith and we could watch games without having to click. Worry about getting locked out. That'd be pretty fun. But yeah, that's why subscribing would really help. Maybe Lilith will make me maybe Absurdian will make me a content creator on his Discord. Maybe Lilith will reach out to me and be like, hey, you wanna be whitelisted for ARC? That'd be fun. So yeah, Belgium defeated Morocco 2-0. Okay, so Belgium is out. Belgium is made it through to groups. I mean, knockout stage then, right? Pretty fun. I'm from Canada, so I don't have access to the game, but I'm definitely gonna keep track of the score for the Canadian team. Funny enough, one of the players on the Canadian national team was from my high school, so have some personal stakes there, I guess. But yeah, 11 minutes. Dollar looks like he's trying to make sure he gets the MVP. Let's see. Oh, he's not there yet. He's swarming down some cities. Where is Dollar? Oh boy, where are you, man? Oh, you're 21st. Sheesh. I mean, it should be safe regardless, but he is swarming down some cities, having some fun. Oh, defeated by Morocco. Oh, that's crazy. So Canada even has a better opportunity to make it out of groups. That's all I need to hear. Appreciate the update from the World Cup side. Honestly, never watched football or soccer or whatever you want to call it. Honestly, everything's subjective, so I call it it's whatever. But yeah, never watched the World Cup or any of the matches until this World Cup, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hype. So you're from Saskatoon. Ooh, that's fun. Never been to Saskatchewan or Saskatoon, but been to Winnipeg, been to Calgary, been to British Columbia, Alberta, you know, obviously. So maybe that's gonna be one of the provinces I gotta visit next. Anyways, yeah, so 60 GT did recap the Shrine of War and the Sky Altar. So yeah. They are dominant. what do you guys think? Do you think they're gonna win with their performance in these finals? Do you think it's because the realm's easy, or just because they patched up the holes that we saw in Grand Prix and in on Grand Finals last year? Do you think they're gonna win Grand Finals? Like, do you think they're favorites, or do you think 1v or Blackjack is gonna show them something that they haven't seen before within their realm? Change my mind, but people without culture say soccer. I think it's a North American thing, because I know, well, at least Canada and America. Like, the thing about Canada is it's so close to America that, like, whatever America does, Canada kind of follows. So it's like their culture kind of just bleeds in through our borders. So I guess that's why we say soccer. I don't know why it's called soccer, because we don't even play football that much, but like American football. But anyways. There you go, 60 GT capped the arc, and yeah, there is not going to be, of course, not going to be a third arc. I mean, it's going to spawn, but there's going to be like 40 seconds to cap it, and then bring it to a structure is not going to happen. And as we, okay, I was about to say they're going to, are they actually trying to cap the obelisk? But no, looks like 60 GT. They are getting pressured in the Shrine of War, and okay, well, not really the Desert Altar, in the Shrine of War, but yeah, the four altars is just like if we check the points per minute, it is 920 points per minute compared to 130. So yeah, capping these altars is just so strong. So it's around, like, what is this, 600 points from altars alone per minute. Definitely insurmountable. Australia calls it soccer as well. Oh, I didn't know that. I think 60 GT will win. I don't know about that Morpheus Titans. I think it's going to be pretty close. It's going to be a nail biter for sure. We don't know if they could provision up 18k points. Well, GT score, even the score is high, not close. Yeah, the score is super high. I wonder if they're even provisioning. I want to see if they're like actually practicing provision. Oh, look at that. They're actually farm killing. Am I seeing this right? Is this an XY with Honda with mixed troops? It has siege, it has archers, it has infantry. So I'm guessing this guy's out of cavalry. Interesting stuff. The tale of the farm killer. It does look like, oh wow, interestingly enough, they are farming with T5 Cav, so interesting stuff by the 60 GT side. They have good equipment in VIP, that is true. That's one thing that people are saying, is that 60 GT just has so much advantage with their player base. Like, I bet almost everyone here, I mean, if you're in 60 GT, you probably got so many gold chests that everyone's VIP 18. Everyone probably has, you know, meta marches, best skier, all that kind of stuff. So that's why people are saying, you know, Grand Finals is an interesting test for 60 GT, because everything is even. If you guys don't know, for Grand Finals, you're given an ROK account that has every commander unlocked, no gear. So essentially, everyone is on an even playing field. Same amount of troops, same commanders, no gear. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if 60 GT can win as grand finalists, or 1v or Blackjack is going to, you know, pull out the strats and kind of outstrat them. So it's definitely going to be an all about strategy, all about resource allocation, all about March allocation for the grand finals. Wonder if 1v played against 60 GT, who will win? I mean, Flame, out of recent history, 60 GT lost the Grand Prix against 1v. They lost the grand finals last year against 1v. But it's going to be pretty interesting, especially seeing that 1v lost their first game. I don't know if that's just an off game or whatnot, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see that if 60 GT, you know, tightens up and is actually able to verse and win against 1v or Blackjack. basically everyone in their rich pockets and other rich people can help them. Opinion only, allegedly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're for sure. I've never been in their alliance. I mean, you see, like, whenever I see Seawell stream, the first thing he does, he spends like 10 minutes tapping the chests, like this rare chests or whatever, the chests that you get from people buying bundles and such. So like, he must have carpal tunnel with the amount of times he has to click with the amount of spenders that 60GT has. So like, imagine just having to click all of those gold chests. I mean, it's a blessing, but I guess a curse for your hand. So, but yeah, 60GT definitely deserving champions. 100% the best team in the realm. Fish said MX was the second best team. I mean, they did beat WIB, so I guess we'll never know. And the game against 60GT, I don't even, was it close? I don't remember, but gonna be pretty interesting to see how I'm interested to see WSA and even 1647 moving forward, and how they grow from this opportunity, from being in the finals, from, you know, showing that the team can play with some of the best teams in the game. But unfortunately for them, they are going to be with 1v next season, I believe, since they are 1647. And from what I've been seeing is that they've just been shoving all of the older teams into one realm, and then having like everyone move up a realm, I guess. So I believe everyone in this current realm, like 60GT and them, might probably be with 1v in the regular season, or in like the same realm next season. So it's gonna be really interesting to see 1v versus 60GT, if that does happen, if they do keep the same formatting in the same realm. So WSA definitely gonna have their hands full next season, but they could hold their heads high definitely for this season. Chain up those troops with that 3% extra training speed. Have some fun with that. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, they're still playing, you know, they're still having fun. They're still, you know, if I was them, it's a sad moment, but at the same time, it's probably expected. 1, 2, you have to be proud of where you've come, right? So wow. So when I change it to when I change it to a chibi of myself, I'm a boomer. But then when I'm Aunt May, like the grandma, it's like hi auntie. So I don't know I don't know how to win again with you, yo. I don't know what you want from me. But it does look like WSA was able to cap the bottom 2 Desert Altars, lowering the points per minute of 60GT to 590 points per minute compared to their 920 points per minute earlier. But yeah, it's looking rather rough for them for sure. It's rough, but hey man, I would love to be in WSA's shoes, you know? You made it to the grand finals. You had some fun. By the way, it looks like there are going to be 2 game 3s next week, with GV77 winning their side of the match, and 2244 won last time, 77 won this time, meaning there's going to be a game 3 next week. So it's going to be 2 game 3s, 1v blackjack, and then W244 versus GV77. So there is going to be some more Ark of Osiris action. I might cast both of them, you know. I'll wake up early for you guys, because I do want to watch that 1v match. It's going to be pretty interesting to see who 60GT has to face. I guess I'm a 60GT homer now, because they gave me my Eye of Talent predictions. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see who wins from both sides, because yeah, I don't know how often is it that these matches go to game 3 for realm finals, right? I actually don't know, but I remember back when 60GT was still an up-and-coming KDE, WIB was so heavily favored, and everyone was just so shocked that 60GT won. And they just haven't looked back ever since. And the match is about to end in 2, 1. There you go. So, there you go. All right. Finals coming. Coming to finals already is a huge W for sure, Mark. Marcus Q, that is 100% correct. WSA getting SW getting the most valuable player award. If we could see 60GT dominated in all sides except for provisioning. WSA keeping true to their motto of being first in provisioning. Arc score, of course, 60GT scored both arcs. Occupation, they held most of the ultimates most of the time. Total kill, 60GT up by 20 million with 92 million versus 71 million kills. Of course, the Sev wounds are mirrored. I'm not exactly sure why they have total kills and Sev wounds, because it's literally a mirror. Anyways, and 60GT actually healed more. So 5.1 mil healed compared to 2.4 mil healed by WSA. And yeah, so congrats to 60GT, congrats to WSA for making it to the finals, and yeah, thank you so much for making it interesting. Let's see if we get the coins. Yeah, I didn't get a mail yet, so it does not look like we get the coins as of yet. So if we do get the coins later, I will be streaming later at 18 UTC for the interview and meeting the new alliance mates, and I guess introducing 2268 as the brand new Imperium in Rise of Kingdoms. So hopefully you guys make it to that. Also going to be playing this new game mode, War of Runes, practically League of Legends in Rise of Kingdoms. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys later. Peace, peace, peace.